Alrighty, welcome everybody. We're going to be playing a competitive league with our Song of Storms Storm deck. For those of you that did not see my other video about it, this is a Storm list using Song of Creation as an engine, which says you may play an additional land on each of your turns, and whenever you cast a spell, you're going to draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So the idea here being that you want to play this spell, then cast a whole bunch of other spells to draw basically your whole deck and finish your opponent with a grape shot. I think this deck might have some slight consistency issues. I've cut only one card. I put a Veil of Summer in the side over a Silence, and I'm running an Ancient Stirrings in its place. That's kind of questionable. I think this deck may want an additional grape shot. I'm not totally certain that we want to play more than one Noxious Revival, but this is the list that we're going to try our competitive league with. So basically the plan is we play a whole bunch of rainbow lands. We try and ramp to 4 mana as fast as possible through the use of Arboreal Grazer and Wild Cantor. We try and play an Amulet of Vigor along the way, and then after we get down Song of Creation, we start playing bounce lands, untapping them, casting Growth Spirals, Pentad Prisms, Manamorphoses, and Glittering Wish to draw as many cards as possible for as little mana as possible. Because we are running Glittering Wish, we do have a Wish board, each of which is a tech choice versus varying things. Alternatively, they are Song of Creations number 4 through 7, because we can wish for Song of Creation. Out of the side, we have some pretty sweet combo off tech with Pact of Negation. If you have a Song of Creation out, Pact of Negation gets way, way better, because you can cast a spell, Pact of Negation, the spell, and then Pact of Negation your Pact of Negation, and you just drew like 6 cards for the cost of 1 spell. And because you're not making it to your next upkeep anyway, it's not really got any downside. This is basically a 1-card Force of Will in this deck, which is sweet. Ultra Mega Backup plan, we have Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath for like a beatdown. We can wish for it versus burn. It's, you know, it's kind of whatever. And then traditional wish board, multicolor wish board. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and fire up a modern competitive league. Alrighty, round 1, here we go. Whether we win or lose, I expect this to be a relatively quick league. So this is kind of fine. I think this is one of the better hands this deck can have. It's kind of unfortunate it has a grape shot in it, but not much we can do about that. Aether Hub into a Veil of Summer turn 1 gives us some decent protection. Worst case scenario, our opponent goes off with like turn 1 Thoughtseize or something to take grape shot, and then we have to rely on getting our Noxious Revival. Yeah, our opponent did start on a Mull to 6. And a Snow-Covered Island into Serum Visions for our opponent. I think our best possible top deck here would be Amulet of Vigor. It would increase the speed of what we're doing by a tremendous amount. Manamorphose, okay. So play Aether Hub. Always yield. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Botanical Sanctum. Allosaurus Rider. Alright, this looks bad. I think we're getting Grizzle branded. Sometimes it just be how it is. Neoform, alright. That's a Grizzle brand. That is a turn 2 Grizzle brand. Yep. Opponent's going to draw their whole deck. I can't remember how they kill, but I think it's Lightning Storm. It's either Lightning Storm or Thassa's Oracle. I forget that that's been a new win condition that's been printed. Alright, Summoner's Pact. They get another Autochthon Worm. Yep, another Nourishing Shoal. Okay, Manamorphose. Blue-green. Manamorphose. Blue-green. I mean, they gotta have a way to win, right? Simian Spirit Guide. Lab Ban. Okay. And they draw 7 cards. Seems pretty decent. So I don't think we can be faster than them. We're definitely... Ooh. So Unmoored Ego is interesting because while we can Unmoored Ego, if our opponent has another fast hand, it's not going to matter. Also, Unmoored Ego is really bad in the event that we need to wish for it and can't. That's the problem with a wish sideboard. We could also bring in Pact of Negations, but if we Pact of Negation anything, odds are we can't pay for the Pact, so I don't think we bring them in this matchup. But I think I want Unmoored Ego in the main deck, and I am going to drop a Noxious Revival for it. Yeah, okay. We'll try it like this and see what happens. I mean, we died on turn 2. There's not a lot that can interact with that. Alright, we'll play first. Yeah. I'll keep this. It's kind of bad because we can't Glittering Wish for Unmoored Ego, but what can you do? Opponent reveals a Chancellor of the Tangle. We play an Aether Hub. Always yield. Arboreal Grazer. Take Roll Turf. Pick up Aether Hub. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent gets green. Plays a Waterlogged Grove. Summoner's Pact. Allosaurus Rider. I think we just died turn 1 on the play. I mean, not many of the decks that I play can actually beat this deck. So, and it's not like we have like Force of Negation or anything like that. So, I'm just gonna concede because even if they don't combo off, they still have a Grizzlebrand on board, and we're not comboing anytime soon. So I'll just I'll save us the trouble here and scoop it up. Okay. Round 2. And here we go. Alright, we'll play first. It's not amazingly fast, but it's got basically everything we need, so I'm going to keep. The upside is, if we get Thought Seized, our opponent's going to have pretty much no idea what's going on. If we draw a Amulet of Vigor, this hand gets way better. And our opponent starts Temple Garden tapped. Alright, Amulet of Vigor, that's pretty sweet. So we add a green, play Amulet, play Gruul Turf, untap it, we bounce City of Brass. So now we can either, we have 3 options. Well, we have a few more than 3 options. We can play Pentad Prism. We can play Growth Spiral off of Manamorphose. We can Glittering Wish. I think we should Glittering Wish after we have enough mana to combo. Maybe we should save Manamorphose as well. Let's play Pentad Prism. This gives us the most options. Like if our opponent has removal of some kind for Pentad Prism, we can Growth Spiral in response. Okay. My dog is very upset that he is not getting what he wants exactly when he wants it. So we can play City of Brass, and we can Glittering Wish. I think we play City of Brass anyway. And then let's pass. We can always Growth Spiral on their end step and have access to so much mana next turn. Okay, opponent plays an Ice Fang Quaddle. They get in for one. Sure. And they tap out for a Teferi Time Raveler. They're probably going to bounce Pentad Prism, which is technically okay. So let's... We could Growth Spiral. No, never mind, that doesn't work. So we Growth Spiral. I was going to say we could Growth Spiral, Noxious Revival, Growth Spiral to draw Growth Spiral, but that's not how timing works. We'll play a Simic Growth Chamber. Untap it. We could Noxious Revival, Growth Spiral, and Manamorphose to draw it. I kind of like that. But, let's see, should we do that? Because we need spells to cast after we play our draw engine. Let's just wait. Our opponent basically is locked into unsummoning something, and that was definitely the wrong choice. Unless our opponent has a Force of Negation, they are probably going to regret that. So we play Aether Hub, get our energy, then we play Amulet using a blue. Okay, opponent uses Force of Negation on that spell. Then we use our energy to Glittering Wish. I mean, sometimes your opponent just has to Fairy double Force of Negation, right? And then what are you gonna do? Okay. I guess let's try and dig for something to do here. So say green, blue. And then we Growth Spiral. Putting in Simic Growth Chamber. Bouncing Aether Hub. The good news is we drew Song of Creation. The bad news is, unless we draw a spell, we're probably in not a great place. And now our opponent is going to be able to hold up potentially like a Cryptic Command or any other form of nastiness. Double Force of Negation. That's disgusting. Do we wait? We're not under any immense pressure. I don't think our opponent's going to tap out, though, is the problem. Play Aether Hub. I think we just wait, because the chance that we draw a Veil of Summer is non-zero. And our opponent might tap out for like a Jace or something like that. You never know. They might think we're just totally out of gas now. Okay. They tick up to Fairy. Play another Misty. Crack Misty for... they could get Mystic Sanctuary and then put Force on top and draw Force, which would be bad. But they did not do that. Just got a regular old island. I think they're setting up for like Cryptic Draw into having Force in their hand. Or they're setting up for a 5-mana play that's going to be very nasty. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. Putting Force of Negation on top. Five mana. Big Teferi. So opponent's drawing Force this turn. So we need to draw a Veil of Summer here, basically. Or we need to rely on the fact that they don't have a blue card of any kind. So we're going to play Song of Creation. They probably have a blue card, otherwise I don't see them making that play. But if they don't, this is our best bet. They pitch Archmage's Charm. Okay. So we're going to play a City of Brass, pass the turn. I guess this deck might actually want Teferi in it. I don't know if I still have one or not, but I should probably squeeze at least one into the sideboard since we have a Wish board. So we have a lot of good draws here. Okay. I'm going to play as an arrow. Gains some life, draws a card, plays a land. Gets in for one. They untap some lands. We draw Amulet of Vigor. Okay, 1 second. Okay, what? Come on. Come on, let's go. All right. Do we just concede here? Probably. We're gonna bring in the Pacts and the other Veil. Yeah. Question is, do we want anything else? And I think the answer is no. So we're gonna drop a Noxious Revival. I think we go down a couple of a Glittering Wish here, which does reduce our overall combo pieces, but we need the interaction. I think I'm going to cut a Grazer and a Cantor, and we're going to run it like this. I would love to play first, thank you. So our opponent is playing 80 cards. So they're playing Yorion Snow. We have a Veil of Summer. No combo pieces. But we do have 2 Manamorphose. I think we have better 6s. And this looks very close to a better 6. We will keep... Problem is, we don't shuffle our deck, and if we put Grape Shot at the bottom, we have to draw the whole deck. I am going to put back Growth Spiral. No, we need Growth Spiral. I'm going to put back Manamorphose. It's very awkward. But we're going to keep a hand that has the best chance of comboing off in the face of triple Force of Negation. Oh, it starts Island and Astrolabe. Sure. We draw Ancient Stirrings. It's probably the best one of in the deck. We find a Simic Growth Chamber, which is excellent. So play that. We bounce the Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Snow-Covered Plains. Turns our Simic Growth Chamber into an island, which is a slight setback. But still on color for us, which is good. Play a Forest. I think we're going to go for the highest upside play and play Pentad Prism here. If we wanted to spread out our mana because we were worried about a Teferi, we could play a Wild Cantor off of one of the charge counters here. I actually think I'm going to do that, because that makes a Teferi bounce way worse. We do have a couple of basics left in case of a Path. I don't know that they would Path a Wild Cantor, but you never know. We do just need one more mana to play Song with Veil backup. Okay, but it plays a Misty Rainforest and cracks it. They get a Snow-Covered Forest. And play Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Okay, they sack it, they gain some life and draw a card. I'm kind of mad that my opponent had double Force of Negation in an 80 card deck in their opener last game. That's been eating at me this entire game. So, we untap. We draw Growth Spiral. I mean, what are the chances that they have Force of Negation in their hand? It's not 1,000,000%, but it's like, actually doing math, it's like, I'd put it at maybe like 30–40%. We're so close. I guess we just try and hit a land here. Okay, that is not a land. We're going to attack for 1. Okay. There he is. Mr. Teferiverse. Ticks him up. Okay. We find a Grazer. No mana to play with, though, so we Growth Spiral. Why Force of Negation that? I guess just because they could get the Force back. Sure. Okay, I'm not going to attack Teferi because that gives them the option to Snapcaster, and we really need the mana. So Scalding Tarn for Snow-Covered Island. And Ice Fang at Quaddle. Okay, that's the other reason we didn't attack. Mystic Sanctuary, putting Force on top. Blood Moon. Okay, that's bad, but not game ending. Opponent ticks up. They are not going to draw force. Only have one blue mana available. I think we can win, but we need a good draw. Oh, that turns it into a mountain, not an island. Now we're choked on colored mana. Can we do anything about that? I mean, we could just try and run Song of Creation out there. I would use all of our colored mana, and our opponent could just bounce it anyway, right? This is a fun Magic card, everybody. I so wish they would ban this from the Modern format. We'll play land, and we'll pass. Yeah, there's no reason to attack. We'll just pass. So our opponent is now holding a Force of Negation. Opponent plays a mountain. Gets in for 1. I mean, it's possible we should be playing more basics, but we have so much filtering in like the form of Manamorphose and such. I don't actually think it should be this big of a problem. Okay, opponent bounces Ice Fang Quaddle. Replays it. They're going to play Yorion. Okay. They get to draw a bunch of cards, but unless they have more than one Force of Negation, we should be okay. We just need to draw like a Manamorphose, and that's it. I think Penthead Prism would do it as well. Okay. So we start by casting Veil of Summer. So we play we actually have to play Penthead Prism. And we can Veil of Summer. Then we play Penthead Prism. Then we play Song of Creation and discard our hand. That's pretty bad. But it is a way to get Song of Creation down, and this is probably when they're most open. But if we do that, they just bounce it with the Fairy. Because the Fairy is a fun Magic card. Once again, we're like 1 mana off of greatness here. So maybe the Wild Cantor off of Penthead Prism play was wrong. I was just worried they were going to bounce Penthead Prism and have an active Teferi. Can't cast spells when we cast an instant, otherwise we could potentially draw something off of Veil of Summer that would make a difference. Hang on a minute. No. Okay, never mind. I guess we have to try and bait with Penthead Prism. If they counter it, no big deal. We just have like about the same amount of potential going off next turn. Okay. Opponent does force. Sure. Opponent plays another island. Okay, they have a Jace. They brainstorm. They play an Uro. So our opponent has 1 blue mana now. Or one colored mana and 2 mountains. And plus the fairy. If we can get 1 more mana, I think we can make this work. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Actually, that doesn't work, does it? If they don't have a force, and we can cast Song, we can then... Is there a way we can do anything? Blood Moon hits us pretty hard. We don't have like a lot of red cantrips or anything. Is there a way we can get up to a high enough storm count to matter? Maybe I'm just dragging this game out for no reason. Let's try it and just see what happens. Veil of Summer. I should have played Song of Creation first, actually. Shoot. Yeah, but then we can't do anything. We're going to discard our hand, but our opponent somehow does not bounce it with Teferi. And we get some insane running draws of some kind that involve Manamorphoses and completely uninterrupted from our opponent. There's a way we can win. It's just extremely unlikely. Yeah, okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. Sorry, everybody. Alrighty, round 3. Let's keep. I think the best hand we've had yet. And we're against a Lurrus deck, which means aggression and not random control. Well, they even got the box topper Lurrus. This guy's going all out. I think we keep. Okay, Flooded Strand. Hollowed Fountain. Is this a control deck? What am I looking at? We'll play Amulet. Oh, it's Hammer Time. That's what it is. I, for some reason, thought this was Authority of the Consoles. There's not a lot of 1-mana white enchantments I see in Modern. So you're going to play like a core and then put the hammer on it. Yeah, okay. Can we get a Grazer? So we can... What do we do here? We'll play Growth Chamber. We untap it. Tap it for mana. We're going to bounce Growth Chamber here to get us a couple of extra draws. Play Growth Chamber again. Untap it. Bounce Growth Chamber. Growth Spiral. how did I start this turn? By playing a land. Okay. Play Growth Chamber. Untap it. Float mana. Bounce Growth Chamber. Play Amulet of Vigor. Play Grazer. Put Growth Chamber into play. Untap it. Untap it. Actually, I do that once. I'm gonna bounce Mana Confluence. Play a Penthead Prism. And say go. Now, if we draw Glittering Wish, or we draw Song of Creation, we are sitting very pretty. On the other hand, we might get the hammer. Invisible Stalker. Okay. And the Ginger Brute. Yeah, I guess we block and prevent 2 damage. We don't particularly need our Boreal Grazer. Okay, Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral is good. So let's Growth Spiral. Put Mana Confluence into play. Play Aether Hub. Get an energy. Pass the turn. This is awkward. Stoneforge Mystic. Here it comes. Colossus Hammer? Yep. Well, at least they can't give anything double strike, but we are dead in 2 turns. We need Glittering Wish or Song of Creation off the top. I can work with either at this point. They put the hammer on Invisible Stalker. And they attack for 11. We take it and go to 7. So we get a Manamorphose and hope we draw, like I said before, I think Glittering Wish or Song of Creation. Green and blue. Wild Cantor does not do it. Alright. That's unfortunate. We went through a quarter of our deck and did not see any one of the 7 cards we needed. I don't think we adjust for this matchup. Because, like, we want to keep our Wishboard targets in the sideboard. Veil of Summer is not likely to actually do anything. Let's just hope for a faster hand and for our opponent to have a slower one. Oh, man. This has been the worst league performance I've had in a while. Even with Jank. I'll have to do some refining for this deck. Probably running more basics instead of all of these Mana Confluence effects. So greedy. Alright, we'll play first. Perfect. Literally perfection. Could not ask for a better hand versus what our opponent is playing. And we're on the play. Start Amulet. Pass the turn. Opponent starts Ginger Brute. Hits us for 1. Down to 19. We draw Wild Cantor. Do we save that? Because we combo next turn regardless, right? Yeah, we're going to save that. We're going to play Gruul Turf. Untap it. Bounce the forest. Pass the turn. Okay, our opponent plays a Sunbaked Canyon. So I think the most damage they could do would be Sigarda's Aid plus Colossus Hammer. I play a Stoneforge Mystic. Alrighty. They find their Colossus Hammer. Hit us to 18? Sure. It begins. We play Growth Chamber. Untap it. Float a bunch of mana. Bounce Growth Chamber. Play Song of Creation. Play Gruul Turf. Untap it. Float mana. Bounce Gruul Turf. Use red mana to play Wild Cantor. Draw some cards. Ooh, that's not actually what we wanted. We'll... I guess we have to Veil of Summer now. Alright, we can keep going. Sack for green. Arboreal Grazer. Put in... Alright, Kano. Big brain time. If we put in... Oh, we should have... No, never mind. That doesn't work. Okay, if we put in Gruul Turf... No, we need to put in Simic Growth Chamber. Trying to get tricky. And there's no need. Untap Simic Growth Chamber. Float the mana. Bounce Growth Chamber. Okay. Now, we Noxious Revival. Putting Wild Cantor on top, paying life. We drew Grape Shot. That's not what we wanted. I can't remember if I took... Did I take the other Noxious Revival out of this deck? Okay, no. We still have 2 Noxious Revivals, which means we can do a mini Grape Shot here. No, we can't. Because I didn't put in Gruul Turf. Oh no. Can I salvage this? Is there anything I can do? No? Oh no. Well then. I guess we try again next turn then. Wow, that's bad. My bad, everybody. My bad. Should have put in Gruul Turf. Now, opponent, I have won with nothing myself. What will you do? I am bleeding, leaving me the victor. Oh, gosh. I mean, we still can, like, we can Wild Cantor and hopefully just continually draw into stuff. But we have to get some good draws. Okay. They sack their land for planes. Play an Invisible Stalker. Opponent attacks. Sure, we'll block. Take 1, go to 15. Draw Wild Cantor. Okay, here we go. Draw cards. Okay. Those are cards. Play Amulet. Draw cards. Nice. We'll play Aether Hub. Get an energy. Okay. Red. Colorless. Into... Ooh, okay. Green, blue. Play Wild Cantor. Draw more cards. Sweet. Play Growth Chamber. Alright, now we got there. This is 100% a win. It's just going to take a minute. Growth Spiral. Put Growth Chamber back into play. Pick up Growth Chamber. Okay, Manamorphose. We'll do green or red, green. Doesn't really matter. Then we Grazer. Put in Growth Chamber. Well, heck, with this setup, we could Fireball him to death. Stirrings. Get a Pentad Prism, rest of the bottom. Play Pentad Prism. Oh, can we get to a storm count high enough before we die? Oh, that would be horrible, wouldn't it? It'd be like the only time you succeed, you fail. Oh, I love comboing with this deck. It looks really cool. I don't think we can get to a high enough storm count without decking ourselves. Because it's not a May. Oh shoot, well that was a mistake. Didn't net as much mana as possible, rip. We have to cast 7 more spells. Oh, we have just enough. Okay. No, we don't. All of our stuff draws cards. What do we do here? How do we get out of this? So we can cast Veil of Summer. That draws only 2. We can cast Amulet. That draws only 2. Cast that, because that draws only 2 cards. Cast this, because that only draws 2 cards. Put Growth Chamber into play. Untap it 3 times. Oh no. Maybe we should just have Thassa's Oracle. Maybe we shouldn't be trying to win with Grape Shot. I'm regretting my decisions. So we Glittering Wish for oh, I'm actually secretly a genius. Do I need that? I don't think I need that. It's just Noxious Survival Grape Shot. Put that on top. Cast anything. Draw Grape Shot. Okay. And then we target our opponent. Opponent is conceded. Cool. Yeah, okay, let's just run it back. Oh man, that was indicative of the, I guess, power of this deck. Oh man, that's indicative this deck needs a rebuild. I love it, but like, we need... So making that more constructive, we probably should be playing the full playset of Ancient Stirrings, no question. We should be playing more basics. We should be playing probably Thassa's Oracle. If there's a win condition we can Glittering Wish for, we should take it. Absolutely. It's like, yeah. Okay, we're going to keep this hand. Double Amulet is really good. In fact, if we draw Song, this is like a turn 2 combo. Okay, opponent starts Flooded Strand. They mull to 5. They get a Hollow Fountain. Play Stone Coil Serpent. Okay, we start Aether Hub. Play Amulet. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Sunbaked Canyon. Sigarda's Aid. Shadow Spear. Okay, not Hammer Time. They get in for 2. Draw Glittering Wish. Do we just Glittering Wish this turn? I think we just Glittering Wish this turn. We'll get Song of Creation. Okay, opponent. I think they have to have Hammer Hammer to kill us. Okay, it is not Hammer Hammer. Thank goodness. They get in for 2. Sure. Take 2, go to 15. We draw Song of Creation. So we play Amulet. Play Groll Turf. Untap. Untap. Bounce Aether Hub. Play Float of Blue. Doesn't really matter what we leave after that. Play Cantor. Draw cards. Okay. Play Groll Turf. Untap it twice. Bounce Groll Turf. Play Pentad Prism. We had a Manamorphose. That's excellent. Okay, green, blue. Growth Spiral. We put a Groll Turf into play. We untap it twice. Bounce Groll Turf. Veil of Summer. Play Wild Cantor. Okay. Then we Manamorphose into red-green. Manamorphose into red-green. Grape Shot our opponent. I'm going to feel really silly if my opponent has Surgical. Because if my opponent has Surgical or I suspected it, what I should have done was just cast all the way to like maximum storm count to kill them. But because we have Noxious Revival, I'm doing this for the sake of brevity. That's probably indicative that we need to have a second Grape Shot in the deck. Because otherwise we're just too soft to stuff like that. Grape Shot again. I mean, we comboed on turn 3, right? Off of double amulet, but a win's a win. I'll take it. Moving on to round 4. I'll see you guys in round 4. Alrighty, welcome back to round 4. I would love to play first. I mean, we can technically win with this hand, it's just very slow. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand is much, much better. I will keep, and I think... I think we put back Wild Canter. Okay. So now the question is, do we play Amulet of Vigor or do we play Arboreal Grazer turn 1? I kind of like playing Grazer more. So we're going to try that line. Okay, take some damage. Grazer in, put in Growth Chamber, and bounce City of Brass past the turn. Opponent plays Temple Garden untapped into an Oath of Nissa. There are Yorion. It's a good card to blink with Yorion. Ah, it's Cat Combo. Cat Combo featuring Yorion. We drew Song of Creation. That's very good. So let's see here. What do we do? We need to have another land next turn. So play City of Brass. I guess let's Manamorphose into green-blue. Then we'll play Amulet. And Amulet. Pass the turn. Any land is very good next turn. Opponent plays Wooded Foothills, cracks it, and gets a Sacred Foundry. They play a Grand Abolisher. Joke's on them, we're not casting any spells on their turn anyway. So play Gruul Turf. Float mana. Float more mana. Float even more mana. Bounce Growth Chamber. And we will play Song of... Oops, I was wrong. Tapped the wrong mana for that, but you know, it happens. Okay, tap for white. Glittering Wish. Draw cards. We will use its ability. Let's take... What to take here? I guess just our cheapest spell we can cast. I'm going to take Simic Charm. I actually think we can. That helps us combo off. So we'll play Growth Chamber. Untap it. Untap it. Bounce Growth Chamber. Play Grazer. Draw cards. Put Growth Chamber into play. Untap it. Untap it. Pick up Growth Chamber. So now we can Simic Charm, bounce Grazer, draw cards, play Grazer, draw cards, put in Growth Chamber, untap it, untap it. Okay. Now we just start playing other ways to draw cards. So play Pentad Prism, play Wild Cantor, we'll play Veil of Summer, Growth Spiral, put in Growth Chamber, untap it, untap it. Bounce Growth Chamber, play Growth Spiral. Put in Growth Chamber. Untap it. Untap it. Bounce Growth Chamber. Play Pentad Prism. Draw cards. Play Grazer, draw cards. Put in Growth Chamber. Untap it. Untap it. Bounce Growth Chamber. Play Cantor. Draw cards. We only need 2 more spells for Complete Storm here, so we're going to Ancient Stirrings. Pick up Growth Chamber. Rest of the bottom. Then we're going to Manamorphose into red-green and Grape Shot our opponent. That was a turn 3 victory. Same targets all the way down. All right. That was pretty sweet. I don't think we bring in the Pack of Negations here. I think we just run it back. Let's see what happens. Okay. This is a very similar hand to last game, so I think we're going to keep. We do have 2 Glittering Wishes. Opponent plays Noble Hierarch to start. We draw Aether Hub, so play Aether Hub just because we don't have to expend a life. Play Arboreal Grazer, put in Groll Turf, bounce Aether Hub. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Breeding Pool. Unmoored Ego. Don't you dare name Grape Shot, you jerk. We'll have to go to the backup strategy. We're gonna have to wish for Uro. Oh, they take Amulet of Vigor. Okay. I mean, that's annoying, but like, they're gonna see that we only have one copy of Grape Shot. Okay, exiled all 4 out of our deck, the jerk. We get a Pentad Prism. Let's see, what do we do here? Play Mana Confluence. Glittering Wish. We will use his ability. And let's go get... Yeah, I guess we have to take Uro. Play Wild Cantor. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Utopia Sprawl. Naming red. We draw Grazer. So cast Uro. Okay. Gain some life, draw a card, put Aether Hub onto the battlefield. Sack Uro. I guess we attack for 1. Pass the turn. For mana, our opponent plays Felidar Guardian. Okay, they're going to flicker Overgrown Tomb. Do we have a card in our sideboard that answers Felidar Guardian? I don't know if we do. Modern Song of Storms. Abrupt Decay doesn't do it because we don't have Assassin's Trophy. I guess we could wish for Unmoored Ego and hit Saheeli Rai just so we don't die. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Yeah, that works. So let's do green, white. We will use Glittering Wish's ability. Get Unmoored Ego. And then do black, blue, Unmoored Ego our opponent. Game Saheeli Rai. They did have 1 in hand, along with an Assassin's Trophy, a Bring to Light, and a Felidar Guardian. What else is in their deck? They got the whole Niv Mizzet thing going on. So they're going to have to try and play a weird mid-rangey beatdown strat. They do have a Kiki Jiki, so that's worth knowing. Play Growth Chamber. Bounce Aether Hub. Pass the turn. No attacks. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, they need 1 more mana, and if they get it, they can Bring to Light Kiki Jiki, which does kill us, unfortunately. Who would have known? Bounce Land Storm versus 80 card Splinter Twin. Alright. You got us. Not gonna make you play it out. So does this mean we have to wish for Unmoored Ego to Unmoored Ego, Unmoored Ego? Actually, it probably means I should bring in the other Veil of Summer. But I already clicked Submit, so... Cool. I don't think we got that one. Play first. Glittering Wish, Grape Shot, Growth Spiral, Pentat Prism. Keep. Start Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Stomping Ground. And Utopia Sprawl, naming blue. Well, hopefully our opponent does not get the turn 2 Unmoored Ego. Green, black will play Pentat Prism. Pass the turn. I guess we should not be auto-yielding here. There is a universe where we have to use Pentat Prism mana to Growth Spiral, and it's not pretty. But it finds a Felidar Guardian, plays an Arid Mesa, and passes. Sure. Okay, we'd really like another land. That works too, actually. So we play a forest. We go red, green, green, blue, and play Song of Creation. Cast Amulet. Draw 2 cards. Then we've got nothing, actually. So we pass. That's pretty bad. We needed to hit a land. So we discard our hand. Now we need to draw anything but a land. Opponent gets a Blood Crypt. They play a Plains, 4 mana. The Assassin's Trophy, Song of Creation. Okay, that's really bad. We draw City of Brass. We're going to play it. Pass the turn. This is the downside to playing Song of Creation. Okay, opponent has a Felidar Guardian. Probably blinking Oath of Nissa. And they get a Kiki Jiki. So we have to somehow win or interact with Felidar Guardian this turn. They fetch with Scalding Tarn to get a Breeding Pool untapped. And Utopia Sprawl. Naming red. We draw nothing of consequence, and scoop it up. We were very close that game. It was very unfortunate. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 5. Alrighty, round 5. Here we go. Alright, we'll play first. I mean, we have most of what we need to combo off, so I'm going to keep. Opponent mulligans to 6. Play Aether Hub. Get an energy. Play Amulet of Vigor. Pass the turn. Gonna play Scalding Tarn. We untap. We draw Glittering Wish. So we play Groll Turf. Untap it. Bounce Groll Turf. Glittering Wish. Alright. Well, can't pay for Spell Pierce. So we're going to cast a Wild Cantor and pass the turn. I should have actually tapped this for white and left Groll Turf on the battlefield, but I did not do that. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent plays Serum Visions. Two cards on the bottom. Shocks a Steam Vents and passes turn. We draw a Forest. So, play Groll Turf. Untap it. Bounce Aether Hub. Go to combat. Get in for 1. Pass the turn. One moment. Porter, come here, buddy. Come here. All right. When it plays a Spire Bluff Canal, we untap, we draw a Growth Chamber. So we're going to play Aether Hub, get an energy, go to combat, no attacks. See what our opponent does. They opt. And they suspend a Greater Gargadon. This means it's probably Electro Dominance, but like... Well, Noxious Revival, Glittering Wish. Untap. Draw Glittering Wish. So we can have access to up to 6 mana this turn. So let's start with Glittering Wish. We will use its ability and get Song of Creation. And then pass the turn. Okay, Gargadon ticking down. We untap. We draw another amulet. Okay, opponent is going to Electro Dominance X1, putting Restore Balance on the stack. So we're going to let that go. Choose 3 cards in your hand, discard the rest. So we discard we keep Growth Spiral. Do we actually? Hang on. So we're keeping Song of Creation because we need it. We keep Growth Chamber. And I guess we keep Growth Spiral. We can discard the rest. Our opponent didn't cast any blue spells yet, so we can't. We should, like, otherwise we could have cantripped prior to this, but we'll keep those 3 cards. We could Growth Spiral now, but I don't think it does anything. Actually, yes, it does. It gets us 1 card deeper. And if we get an actual non-bounce land, it's better. Okay. So we have 3 mana right now. If we can get a regular land of any kind, as a non-bounce land, we should be okay. Okay, play Growth Chamber. Untap it. Float mana. Bounce Growth Chamber and play Cantor. That gets us to 4 mana, so we can play Song of Creation. How many time counters are left on it? Just the 1. Manamorphose. We can play Growth Chamber, untap it, float the mana, bounce Growth Chamber, Manamorphose into green-blue. We get a Mana Confluence. So we can play Grazer, put in Mana Confluence, untap it, pass the turn. So next turn we'll have 4 mana, and we can play Song of Creation. Hang on a second, how many time counters are on this thing? Can I not see? Oh, 3. Okay, that gives us way more time than I thought. Perfect. Another Song of Creation. So play Growth Chamber, untap it. Green, blue, red, red. Bounce Mana Confluence. Play Song of Creation. Play Mana Confluence. Pass the turn, discarding Song. Okay. 2 time counters left on Gargadon. Okay, we just need any spell. That is not what I asked for. Play Aether Hub, so we don't have to discard it. Pass. Okay, opponent has to discard. We discard a Crashing Footfalls, and we get a Growth Spiral. So we draw 2 cards, one of which is a Gruul Turf. Excellent. Put Gruul Turf into play. We untap it and bounce Simic Signet. Play Pentad Prism. Draw some cards. Get a Metamorphose. Play Simic Growth Chamber. Untap it. Float mana. Bounce Growth Chamber. Metamorphose. Draw cards. Adding green and blue. Okay. Expend a red. Grape Shot our opponent. Draw some cards. Storm. Not getting very lucky on these draws. I'm getting just lucky enough to continue. Okay. Pentad Prism. Draw some cards. Force of Negation. I mean, that's not what you should have forced, but if you had that, you probably should have forced this, unless you drew that after the fact. So we play Growth Chamber, untap it, bounce Aether Hub, and then we discard 8 lands at our end step. How unfortunate. If our opponent wins, it's only because they're absurdly lucky. I mean, that and we're playing a bad deck, right? So we'll chump. We draw Glittering Wish. Okay. So we Glittering Wish, draw some cards. 2 more lands. Wow. We'll take... We could take Simic Charm and just unsummon their guy. I was gonna say, otherwise we go looting. I'm gonna do the Simic Charm thing. Bounce Gargadon. And opponent scoops it up. Cool. So in this matchup, we're bringing in all of our protection. We're going down a couple of Glittering Wish. I think Ancient Stirrings. Cantor. And I'm going to go down a land. I'm going to try it like this. Alright, well we've got protection, just no regular mana, unfortunately. So we have to mulligan. This, however, I That's not that great either. We'll go to 5. Alright, we'll keep. We don't need Grazer. And I don't technically think we need Prism. We could get rid of Pact of Negation as well. Yeah, we'll get rid of Pact of Negation. But our protection spells are basically only good the turn we're comboing, so... Opponent starts Spire Bluff Canal. Okay. We draw Aether Hub. Play an Aether Hub. Opponent is running Spell Pierce, so we're not going to play Amulet yet. They opt. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn. Passes. We draw a Veil of Summer. Play a Forest. Play Amulet. Okay. They let it resolve. They probably have an Abrade or something. Dog's sticking a toy right up in my arm. Could be like a repeal, too. Petty Theft. Veil of Summer. We draw a Noxious Revival. Petty Theft does not resolve. Opponent only has 2 lands. Interesting. Play Gruul Turf. Untap it. Bounce Aether Hub. Play Pentad Prism. And pass the turn. Now we just need to find a song. Opponent's still stuck on 2 mana. We draw Wild Cantor. And opponent scoops it up, leaving us to win our round 5 versus Electro Balance. Hey, we won half our investment back, which after those initial 2 games is more than I thought we were going to win because of holy crap. Okay, so what did we learn? Number 1, we are extremely soft to all forms of interaction. We have artifacts, we sometimes use the grave. If we're counterspelled at the wrong time, we end up discarding our whole hand and we're sad. So, some ideas. First, we can take this deck in a different direction. There's like 2 other directions I can think to use the Song of Storms engine. Alternatively, we cut way down on the greed in the mana base. I'd like to see a lot more basics. We'll drop the rainbow lands as much as possible, and instead we will run probably like maybe one of the Izzet bounce lands to have like 9 bounce lands in the deck, and the rest of the deck ought to be basics as far as I can tell. We might, like, Glittering Wish is really good. but the wishboard is just too slow versus 90% of the field. And other than a tutor for Song of Creation, it's not really doing a whole lot. I think we can replace the Glittering Wish package with, honestly, even Ancient Stirrings, just playing the full playset. Playing the full playset of Ancient Stirrings is another data point of things we'd like to do here, because we're only running the one, and only because I have no idea. I cut a different card because I wanted to try it out, and obviously I should be running all of them. We'd like another Grape Shot in the deck. And I might even want Pacts of Negations in the main, because when we're comboing off, they're insane. Like, you can cast a spell, you can cast Pact targeting the spell, and you end up just drawing 4 cards if you don't need the spell to resolve. It's just a 0 mana Thought Cast, which is like the power level of Ancestral Recall, basically. Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, I hope this video was entertaining to you. If it was, please subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitch at the same username if you want to catch me streaming Silly Decks live when I go live. Other than that, please know that you're all wonderful people, and I hope that you're staying safe out there. Bye!